Good morning, everyone. Time for another gold and silver update. I'm JR. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to do an analysis on gold, silver, and platinum. Maybe I'll throw in the US dollar as well as the stock market. I'm trying to make this a turbo analysis under 7 to 8 minutes to cover so many charts. We'll get right to it. Right, today's August 13th, 2018, and this is the gold chart right here. Right, so gold still respecting this trend line here. All right, I think gold is going to respect this level here. All right, I'm looking for gold again. We've talked about the head and shoulders on the gold chart, right? And this is how it would look, right? So again, technically still trading above this trend line here. We have a respect here and more respect over here. Now we're looking to see if we respect this market over here, right? So we can see here that the 1200 area can act as support and resistance here, right? And we can see here very clearly that we are currently in the process of testing this area. But we're definitely looking for this market to find some resistance, some support here at around this level or at around, let me look at the monthly. If I look at the monthly chart, this is really the level where I want to stay above, okay? All right. Around that level here at 1195. All right. Next, we have this level over here. All right, which again technically should hold if we are looking to create. So right, we have a low, low, lower low, lower low, lower low, low, higher low, and now we expect this to be a higher low than this, and we expect the market to move back up around this area here. Right. So if I draw the trend line here, we have more support. Yeah, technically, you can draw this trend line from here. All right. So again, still respecting that long-term trend line. So for now, I'd like to see bullish engulfing candles on the smaller time frames. This is the monthly time frame. So again, big time frame. So again, this is where I'm looking to find some big engulfing candles here on the smaller time frames, right? So let's call them the 4-hour charts. If I see a nice big engulfing candle here, that's a good signal to buy and take it over here first, and then see if this trend line will break, right? There's a big strong trend line coming up from here all the way up to there, right? So first thing we need to do is we need to break above the first level of resistance and then break above the second level of resistance. So I think once we break above this, I think it'll be a good shot to test the 12 and a quarter area. Then we have to see what's going to hold. We're going to see if 1190 is going to hold or 1180. Again, like I said, 1180 to 1190, that's what I'm looking for. Silver on the monthly, also, again, we can see a lot of technicals here. I just drew this. This is a big level here. I was trying to check something out, but at any rate, so we can see here that silver has a few triangles, a triangle here, and another triangle here. We can actually see, I actually drew this trend line here quite a bit ago. We can actually see that for now it is respecting that trend line, and all I did was connect this. Really, that was the big market move to the upside. This was the big move down before the move up. Then you take this and you plug it here to the next big move up, right? And you get this trend line, right? So you got to link this one up to this one up, and then that's where we found some support this morning. I don't use this one because this is that was the flash crash, so we don't use that. But if you've been watching my videos, you know that I drew this line a long time ago. And ultimately, again, I am looking for another bullish engulfing candle here. I think a break above 15 and a half, 15 and 3/4. I think this will allow us to retest the 1720 range, keeping in mind that we are within this triangle. So technically speaking, we can probably, these triangles are hard to, some of them are easy, right? So we can look at something like this and easily draw a triangle. But the problem with this one is that this flash crash kind of ruins things, right? So anytime I look at where do I connect the dots, I usually connect them with the highest level before the lowest drop. So technically this is the highest level here before the biggest drop, which was started here, a move up, and then the big drop. So technically speaking, I would draw this line like this, but again, that is a flash crash, so we don't know how the market, we don't know how the computers are looking at this, right? all we do know is that it still looks like a triangle. If you were to do something like this, or if you were to look at something like this, technically that's still, you can draw the triangle in many different ways, but ultimately speaking, this is the one I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at this. All right. And that's the silver market. Technically, this is the next level of support, right? So we break below this level here, $15. We're looking between 13.5 all the way up to 14.5 to find some support, right? I don't want to personally break this, but again, I do. I guess we do have to assume that there's some buyers over here. You know, when you look at the monthly chart, you have to ask yourself, okay, so you had that big move over here, right? You can't really see this. I've shown this before. This is the way this market looks. All right, like that. All right, so you can see that there's some buyers over here, right? And then the big move up. And then, again, looking at the lowest low before the biggest move on the monthly, then this is the low that we're most likely going to respect if nothing else is respected, right? So if nothing over here is respected, then this is the low that ultimately we would look for buys, right? I'm not buying any more silver right now. I think silver right now is good. I like silver. I think right now is definitely not a selling area, but it's definitely a buying area. So I think if you don't have 5-10% of your portfolio in silver, this is a good time to add 2 or 3, 4, 5%. Because ultimately you want to buy at the lows and you want to sell at highs. So the stock market right now, let's look at the Dow Jones. The stock market right now saw a big move down here the other day. And, you know, there's the move. That's a daily chart, right? So you saw a pretty a nice rally from here to 25.5. Then you saw a big move to 25.25, right? So now you're seeing the market reattempt to go back up. I think ultimately, I think this stock market will continue to go higher, maybe between the 26 and 26 and almost 26.75. And you know, I look to find some resistance over here. Again, you buy at the lows and you sell at the highs. So again, I'd be looking to sell out of Dow Jones unless we break above the $26 range. And again, when you break above that level here, you want to have a solid break. You don't just want to break, you want to have a solid break. I'll show you what a solid break looks like. The US dollar, right? The US dollar saw a really solid break, although you have to question why it had opened up so low. So basically, you see how you have two green candles next to each other, and this one, this actually closed up here, right? On greens, they close high, on red, they close low. So what happened this weekend was really interesting, right? So we had the dollar open right here at 95.50, and then we had a big move and it closed at 96.25. Then last night this thing opened up at 94.18, so huge gap, but it already filled the gap. Again, gaps are always filled. That would have been a good trade on the US dollar, but ultimately that's a solid trade. You have a really nice close above this level here. You've already found some buyers that brought the prices right back to where they needed to be. I suspect that the US dollar is probably going to test, if it doesn't find some resistance somewhere on over here, I think ultimately we have to go back to the monthly charts here and look to find some resistance around this area here. Okay. I still believe that this is a broadening formation. This is a very bearish formation. So technically speaking, we could see this market. I would have liked to see this market do something like this. That's not what happened. So now I'm looking for the market to do something like this, right? Again, still broadening, still nasty, and ultimately still have these highs, lower highs, and I expect this to be the lower high, right? And the market to continue to go down. All right, so let's see what happens here. I'll do another video analysis here at the end of the week. Let's see where these metals finish up. And that's about it. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.